in this
Afterwards
place?
in Winterthur, yes. I agreed to make the show here basically because I had the idea that Shilmora, under the direction of Shilmora, Arles tries to be much more contemporary. Arles had this rather traditional approach, which maybe was no longer so important in the last 10 years. When he asked me to do a show, I said, okay, if I can do a show the way I would do a show for Winterthur, I accept. And he said, yes, let's do that. So I prepared the show for Arles and for Winterthur. And we made this catalog so that we can really can also show. I mean, we cannot show the work. We cannot show the exhibition everywhere, but we can send the catalog out.
Could you speak more about the artists selected?
There are 8 artists included. So if I start here, it's the work of the Swedish artist Annika von Hauswolf. It is a work that, to make it short, shows the fringe between the normal world, between the normal civilization, between what we think that's all okay, and at the same time we know that this floor we stand of is very thin. We can existentially break in, and she deals a little bit with that. I go further, and we are entering a very poisoning work. It's the work of the German sculpturist Hans Himmert, who
He will be present in Cahors.
he's also present in Cahors, who has a work under the title Heimordnung, which means l'ordre à la maison, and he deals absolutely with this point that we don't feel at home anymore where we are at home. It's in his car, it's in his studio, it's at his place where he lives. But at the same time, he uses a latex material, which he uses also as a balloon, really as a balloon. And he changes his own environment into a very clinic, a very strange and a strange atmosphere. Like here, for example. Then we go into a kind of normal landscape world of Jörg Sasse, which is all totally constructed. He uses sometimes his own photographs, sometimes amateur photography, and then he really treats it on the computer. He calls it computer manipulierte Arbeiten. So he works on it a lot, and you get into an unquiet world where you lose the control to know what is really happening here. Normally we stand in front of the world, or we stood in front of the world, or we stand in front of a picture in a very calm way. There where we stand, we are supposed to stand and we look at this image. But these images try to make this standpoint where we stand unsecure, that we don't know anymore what is actually happening here. Is this a wall? Is this a floor? Is this what is this? What is this house here? It looks so familiar. It's the house everybody kind of wants to be, but it's in a kind of a jungle, in a Mediterranean jungle. So he constructs world. Then we go into a work of the Swiss artist Katrin Freisager. Her work is called, and it's a frieze of 7 pieces. You will see that it's called Living Dolls. And she pushes models up to the point where you don't know anymore, are they living persons or are they dolls? Are they artificial people? Then, for me, a very important work is the work of the Austrian artist Günter Selicher. What you see here are all displays, are all monitors. His pretension is the new image of today is the display. That's the new image of today. And whenever you use your handy, you look at the display. Whenever I enter the museum, I have to shut down the alarm machine. I use a display. I have a display in my agenda, my electronic agenda. We are sitting right in front of a computer monitor, which is a display. And he photographed them cold. That means shut down. And it starts to be a rather aesthetic object, a colorful object, but it's actually the interface between the world that we know and the total new world of the web world, actually. He makes them big, like 1 meter 25 centimeters high, and the length is according to the size to the size of the display in its original. It's a very cold work, but it's actually a very important symbol. If you look at photography of the 40s and 50s, even you can even start earlier. This is this fantastic photography. Also, Arles took a lot of profit on that. That is talking about photography as a window. You're looking out. You have a poetic view to the world. The world today is we shut down all the windows. We even shut down the shutters to make a dark room, and then we hang a monitor instead of the window. And he tells about this world in a very interesting way, in a very brilliant way. Then we go into maybe something like the border between the private and the public. You have here private houses at night, and they are surveyed by a helicopter squad in LA, and they have these huge light projectors to control the world from outside. And he deals with the private and the public, the night and the day. He called it actually night sun. Now he calls it night arc. They're much harsher, they're much more raw than the other images. And we show a block of 10, and it's really an impressive work. It's the work of actually a painter. It's the work of David Deutsch, who is an American living in New York. Isabel Heimerdinger, who is a German artist who used to live in LA, deals a lot with fiction, with spaces that are built for making fiction. So these are all excerpts out of films. This is, you remember, out of Shining. And she takes these film sets and makes an extract of it, takes the people out of it, so that what we still have is just the setting of the film, the setting where you expect something to happen, but you do no longer know what kind of room is this. Is this a natural room, a fictional room, or what it is? It gets a strong plot atmosphere, a strange and frightening, sometimes frightening atmosphere. These are more out of Japanese films. And then we end in the catalogue with the work of Philip Locker-Digosha, the American, who actually provokes the term of street photography and provokes the border between the individual and the mass. He makes fabricated street photography, just in putting a flash somewhere on the floor, and when there is a sudden, I can easily show it with this photography, when there is a situation he likes, he makes the photograph, the flash starts, and this person is kind of cut out of the mass, out of the stream, and put on a stage just by using a flash. So he asks questions about street photography. Is this authentic, or is it fabricated? But he also asks questions about the individual and the mass. And to make this catalog also kind of a hybrid object, this catalog starts here image-wise, but the text-wise you have to turn, and the book starts again from the front. So you have two books in one to make it also kind of a hybrid object.
Style, thank you, and a very nice exhibition.